Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial on this channel. This tutorial is about how you can make a circled gown. You can see how beautiful this gown is, and the most important thing about this gown is you can style them in different ways. So I'd appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel to see more of this kind of styles because I always upload videos. So if you're interested, let us get into the cutting. So if you're taking the measurement for this gown, you're going to be taking 3 different measurements in terms of the length. You're going to be taking one from the shoulders to under the bust. The next one is going to be the band that will connect the first half cut and the second half cut, which is the flare. So what I'm cutting out right now is the shoulder to the under bust, the back and the front together. Afterwards, I'm going to be folding the remaining duchess fabric that I have. I folded them into 2 and then furthermore folded it diagonally. If you're wondering how many yards of this duchess I used, I am using 3 yards of this duchess. So as you can see from the beginning of this video, this is not a full flare, but cutting it this way will give you the effect that a full flare gives to you. So I'm going to have just an opening, which is going to be for the zipper. That's like what you get when you're cutting like a full flare. This part here is going to be the part that will connect with the waist, and so I'm just going to go for that and just measure. So before I am measuring all of this, I had already gone ahead to confirm if it's going to be up to the length that I require for my second half cut. So I am confidently measuring this right now because I know that after measuring it, it gave me the exact length that I'm looking for. So this first measurement, I just had to confirm to be sure that it's going to fit into my waist measurements. So it was exactly my waist measurement. So if for instance it wasn't up to my waist measurement, all I just needed to do was extend this fold a little bit more. So right now I'm marking for my zipper allowance because this point right now is going to be the point for the zip. So the next thing to do is from this first measurement that we had, we're going to be taking the second half cut of our which gown is a skirt part. So just go ahead and mark out your half cut at this point, which is a skirt part of it. So I want to be double sure that this part will fit into my waist, that is not small for my waist or not like so much bigger than my waist. So I had to still take another measurement just to be double sure. And then after comparing it by folding it to get the exact thing that it is when it's unfolded, I discovered that so it's enough to fit into my waist and the zipper as well. So I'm just going to extend it to the zipper part, then use my ruler to connect the zipper allowances. So the skirt part of this gown is done. This is what it looks like after you're done cutting it out. So at this point, I just want to cut out the waistband. So I'll just fold it and cut my exact waist measurement plus allowances for my zippers. So I'll just fold it into 2 and then I'm just going to measure my waist measurement, which is 28. Unfold it is 14. But remember to add allowances for your zip. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to be determining how long I want this band to be. So I want to remind us at this point that as you are marking your waistband, as you're marking the length for the waistband, remember that the waistband plus the first half cut, everything has to fit in to give you your exact half cut. So if it is longer than that, at the end of the day, you could cut it out, but just be so conscious so that you don't cut very long half cuts for yourself. So next I went up by 2.5 inches. The reason I'm going up by this 2.5 inches, I want to create like a basque effect. But this curve, the curve of the basque is going to be at the back, so you can see what I'm trying to cover at this point. If you're getting confused, just keep watching. You understand at the later part of this video. I'm just going to cut it out. So I'll open it to show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So when I fold it, it's going to look like this. Just look at how I'm going to just lay them on each other. You can see that one is longer. The longer side is at the back. Then this is the first one we cut out. If you remember the first one we cut out. So I'm just going to fold it and then I'll just cut them into two, which will serve for the front and the back. So the two piece for the front and the two piece for the back is what I'm cutting right now. So you will understand in few minutes what this is all about. So for the edges, this is duchess, so you can decide to fold it or just use bias to dress it up. But for me, I use helming gum to close up the edges, the four edges of this front and back panels. Since the front part of this gown is a wrap effect or an overlay, I'm going to be making some little pleats. Just stay with me because in just a few minutes I'm going to be showing you how to really do that. I'm just going to lay them on each other like this, but just stay with me. So a piece of this will serve as a front and a back, so please stay with me in this video as I'll show you more. So this is the band that I cut out a few seconds ago, so I'm just going to make some pleats. So if you don't want to design your band a little, that is very fine, but I just feel like it's going to be very plain, so a little style wouldn't be a bad idea. What do you think? But if you feel like yours should be plain, go ahead and make it as plain as you want. So I'll just make some plates and just hold them down with pins and head over to my pressing iron and just give it a very good press. So yours is to form the plates at the exact points where you need them formed, and then your pressing iron does the rest of the work for you. So you can see that we're already forming our plates very nicely. So I'm going to extend this plate from this point down to the end of this our band. So once I'm done with all the plates, I'm going to use my sewing machine to hold them down so that it doesn't loosen out. So I'd used my helming gum. Look at how neat it is. So I would advise or encourage you to use a helming gum to close the edges. It makes it neater, it makes it cleaner to look at. So this is the band that we created. Look at how it is. It doesn't look neat looking at it, but if you see it physically, it's very neat. And then I made a notch at the middle part of it. So I'll just take out the half cuts, the half cut parts of this gown, then I lay them on each other, and then I'll just spin it down. So I'll fold it together to also mark the middle of what I want to use it for. So you'll see it in a moment. So I will try to connect the waistband with this first half of our gown. I know I'd already marked them, so I'm going to lay them middle to middle. But before that, my waist is 28 inches and 28 divided by 2 is 14. So I'm measuring the first 14 at the front part of this gown. So that was how to place my 7 at the middle part that I marked. So you're going to know why I marked that in just few minutes of this tutorial. So I'm going to place this first part, I already marked it also, so I'm going to place it middle to middle. So just look at what I'm doing at this point now. Then I'll pin it. So I'm going to be placing it exactly, and it's going to be stopping exactly where this mark stops. You can decide to take it backward if you want, but I want it to be exactly on the 14 inches mark. So at this point, you could just be creative and do whatever you like. But if you want to follow the style that I'm trying to make, then watch along with me. So I'm just forming some little pleats before I sew on them. So I'm going to do the same for the second part as well. Put it at the points, pin them down, form some little pleats. Once you're done pinning it, it should look like this for the front. You can see that it already serves like a casing for the bust. So next we're going to head over to also make it for the back as well. So watch how I'm going to be laying it. So I'm going to take one edge of a piece of this. Just watch how I flip it over. Take one edge, and then I'm going to put it at the back of the band. So remember to leave out your zipper allowance at this point before you lay the piece on it. So from that point, I'm going to be pinning it all the way to where the front piece stops. So this is where this is also going to stop, as you can see. So I'm also going to pin it all the way and also make little pleats at the back as well. So if you want more pleats, you have to cut your pieces wider than what I have. So what I cut, the pieces I cut, I just cut 13 inches in width. And that is what I'm making pleats from. But then the length, for me, my length is 13 and a half. That's from my shoulders to my underbust is 13 and a half. So you can use your measurement at this point to just form what you want to do. So I'm going to do the same for the second side of the back. So just watch as I flip this piece to the back side of it. Holding it to the wrong side of it, you can see how it is. Then I just flip it this way. Then I pin. So I'm going to be sewing all the way from the beginning up until the end of it. So if I'm done stitching it, you can see that there is already a place to put your hand, like an armhole also has been created. So I notched the skirt part of this gown. I notched it at the middle part of it as well, so that I'm going to be joining them middle to middle. So I'll go ahead and just notch this band. This is the middle, just make a mark there. So I'm going to be placing them middle to middle. So I'll be pinning them all the way. So I'm going to be stitching all the way across to this point. Afterwards, I'm going to attach the zipper and then I'll come back to show you what it looks like. Just stay tuned. So this is what it looks like. See the waistband, this is the neck area. So your hand goes through this part. Then this is the second part of it. Also to the back, I had already attached zippers to it, and so this is how it looks like with the zipper. You can also see that the waistband runs to the back as well. So guys, this is what it looks like on my body. I hope you like this, and if you're here to subscribe to my channel or you're coming across my channel for the first time, please do me well by hitting the subscribe button, turn on the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And at the top right side of your screen, I'll be leaving a link to a gown, a maxi cut gown that you would love. Thank you for always coming back to my channel. See you in my next video. Bye.